Thank you for joining us. This is USIU TV. My name is Charles Mwakio, and this is your campus, your life, your TV. In the show today, we have the immediate SAC chairman, Mr. Joshua Ngigi, who will be talking to us about how his tenure was together with his team. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Thank you once again, Joshua, for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, glad to have you here today. Now, we're just going to be talking about, everyone knows Student Affairs Council, even in the USIU fraternity. So today we want you to tell us more divergent to what Student Affairs Council is, what your tenure was, what were you serving, what's the position. There's a lot of misconception about what SAC does in USIU. So maybe you could just start off by just introducing yourself.
Thank you very much for welcoming me in this show. I'm grateful that I'm having an opportunity to do this at this time as I leave office. First of all, to answer your question, SAC is a Student Affairs Council. The misconception out there is we've been compared to the likes of SONU, PUSA.
SONU, just elaborate what SONU and PUSA stand for.
SONU is a student body of Nairobi University.
Okay.
I think their vibrancy has worked against us because we've been compared to them. However, the Student Affairs Council is a non-political, we are secular, we are non-religious, we don't want to take sides. Therefore, this gives us a unique position in the society. Therefore, SAC is a representation of the students. We act as a bridge between students and administration, but more so we want to represent the students' rights. So I came in last year in the same time as this time.
What time is this?
This is in May. I took hold of office in May.
Okay. After being elected, that is?
After being elected. And I came at a time when there is apathy.
Student apathy?
Yes, student apathy towards the student body. So I didn't get a lot of votes.
Okay.
Though I got 100% of the total turnout. Okay. I didn't feel that it was the best position I was coming in. I was coming in where I had to rebuild trust again. I had to increase participation of student activities. I had to build that. And that for me was the hardest thing that I did.
Okay. Yeah. Just to cut you short, a lot of critics in USIU talk about the Student Affairs Council as an event organizing body. How would you differentiate that? Because a lot of students say the only time I see SAC is during Mr. and Miss USIU Campus Awards USIU. The only time I see SAC is during SAC Week or Freedom Brown Day. How would you dismiss that, given the fact that a lot of events happen in USIU organized by the students? But is Student Affairs Council really an event organizing body only?
I think that's another misconception. However, I did my research. Before we came in, we went for the leadership retreat at Kenya. This is where we got such feedback that USIU, the SAC is an organizing event organizer. People also in my team felt the same. Therefore, we had to sit back and re-strategize. Our approach was very simple. We created a slogan, a very simple slogan, which was our vision and our dream. That was SAC, rebranding SAC, and redefining leadership.
Beautiful, amazing.
That was what we stood by. So what did we do after that? We said we will not do any event just because it has been done.
Okay.
Therefore, we started by first abolishing all events, and then we looked at them. How do we rebrand? How do we rebrand this? There are events that can stay, there are events that can go. So during my tenure, there was nothing like SAC.
Okay. So you moved all events that were just...
They are not aligned to rebranding SAC and redefining leadership.
must have been a challenge considering that you're having a student population of over 5,000 students who are from over 54 nationalities. How would you say you sell your message as a chairman? You know, I know you have a team, that you work with a team, vice chair, treasurer, but how did you sell your message across to all the students, given the fact that you say that you're not voted by all the students, but how do you manage to cut through the multiculturalism in USIU to sell your message?
I always thank God because He gave me a people's skill.
A people's skill.
I would relate to anyone because from my humble beginnings, I've never seen someone as a stumbling block. I don't see why I can't talk to you.
Yeah, true.
Why I can't say hi to Charles Mwakio.
Yeah, true.
So this has helped me a lot because I was able to cut across and able to reach master students, coming to them and telling them I'm the SAC chair. And it was just being friends. Because that is how I now started building the trust. My team, I think I was the unifying factor as my team.
The glue or what?
Yes.
The glue.
The glue, and that was my main duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting my team to get, because this was also a new team that had not done leadership yet. You know, some of them were fresh. So it was hard, but I thank God because of what He gave me. And I remember the only thing that kept me going and going is that at the leadership retreat, a lady called Madam Musico said one thing.
The head of counseling, that you say?
Yes. She said, I think this is the team that God had put to change USIU. And I was so touched with that. And I remember as I came in, my only thing was to represent God. I wanted just to represent Him. So the best way I knew possible was being friends. So we started being friends. I cut across the Tanzanian community, I cut across all the communities. I think there's no community that does not know me. And that was now the beginning.
Community in terms of nationality?
Nationalities, yeah. Yeah, I went across to security, people like finance, staff members. Bringing first of all the unity.
You appeal to everyone?
Yes, that I did to my level.
Let's talk about something about when you got to Japan, if I'm not wrong, the first one of the events that you were to organize was Campus Awards.
Yes.
And you had a very huge task to tell people you're going to remove an event from the auditorium and put it outside.
Yes.
Many people who have been in USIU for over years as serving as Student Affairs Council Senate members have said it's impossible to manage to convince the management or the administration of USIU to do an event outside the auditorium. What skills did you use there to convince the management? Or
this was the most challenging event that I did.
The Campus Awards 2012.
As a team.
Yes.
Because, as I said, we wanted to rebrand SAC.
Yes.
And to redefine leadership.
Yes.
Therefore, doing the things the same way.
Yes.
Did not make sense to us.
You also had a larger population, you had a larger audience to cater for.
Yes.
And the auditorium only caters for 450 to 500? 450.
Yes. So we sat down.
Yeah.
We said we'll have a dome. So how we have a dome?
Yes.
So we sourced for sponsors. We had Nokia at that time. It gave us 50,000. That was a little amount compared to the cost of the dome and everything. Though we had a budget, we had to sell our point. I remember it came to a point that we said, if this thing is not done in Bangladesh, we are all quitting.
So you wanted to boycott?
We said we are all quitting SAC. If we can't do things according to our vision,
Yes.
we are not here to serve anyone. We can't. We'll do the same things the same way, and then people will say success.
Okay, yeah. There's a terminology, success. So what would you say was your biggest challenge apart from Campus Awards, being a student? And given the fact that you were, if I can recall, during the handover speech or during the election in USIU, you talked about we are students, you are quote unquote, we are students like you, no stipends, no allowances. We do it because we love it, or we do it because we're passionate about it. There's been this stereotype that you guys are the Senate members are paid to work for SAC. Let's talk about that. The students would want to know, why do you go into leadership and you're talking about airtime here, talking about transport, the energy, why your studies affected. Talk about why do you serve, so to say, because it's servant leadership. It's as simple as that.
As I said before, I came in to represent God. First of all, that was my starting point.
Biggest motivator.
God was my biggest motivator. And maybe I would love for one day, yes, I use student leadership to get at least some motivation that I surely love. And I always say, maybe if I'm an alumni and I'm well off, I would pay for one term, or let me say for 1 year for a SAC leader. But it taught me a lot. We did things because it was the right thing.
Okay.
Because once we came into SAC,
yes,
we knew you are not going to. It's already written down.
Yeah, it's already been highlighted to you that you're not going to get any money, no airtime, no free lunches. Just doing it because you really want to.
Yes, that is why I say the likes of Sonu and the others have worked against us, because now people think, because for them they are paid, they get some allowances here and there, they get maybe vehicles. And I think that comparison of saying, what is in it for me, instead of what do I give, that is what we've tried to work against, because we find a student, you want to tell them, participate in this, and they ask, why should I?
What's the motivator?
Yeah.
What am I getting out of it?
I saw recently in a daily.
Yes.
And I know it's a USIU student who wrote to them, the Nairobian. He said the student body is going down despite their...
Student body from universities in Kenya?
No, in USIU.
In USIU, okay.
Going down, they are only given, this is misinformed information that I saw, they're only given 150 for lunch every day, and then they do it for their CV and recommendation, of which I would love to maybe denounce that on public television and say that is a lie. I never got food every day.
Okay.
We would even fight with my mother because she wonders, why are you not getting the food? I've not done it for my CV. My CV, I've created it,
You can build it up
from
scratch.
That is the only document that you only build in your lifetime, your CV. So, the way I work, even if I'm in SAC and I don't do a lot, that's how I build my CV.
Okay. Let's talk about how you're a senior student.
Yes.
You're studying IBA, International Business Administration, with a concentration in marketing. Let's talk about how that did it assist you in any way to during your leadership tenure as a SAC chairman. Maybe how did the education at USIU impact your leadership skills? Did they sharpen them, or was it just the leadership born in you?
I think it helped me a lot. Not I think, I am so sure that the education helped me a lot.
Yes.
Because in marketing, there are a lot of concepts that I tried to bring on board. Because for me, it was much of marketing than
getting the word out there that we are here, this is happening, students, participate.
That is what we tried and to do. And let me say, even it helped me get a lot of negotiation skills, my education, because we told them how to approach. And maybe at this point I would love to highlight some of the things that we negotiated. And during our term, by the way, we came in when SAC had a deficit.
How much is it?
I think around 400,000
shillings.
Yes.
400,000 shillings.
Yes, I think so.
And you managed to offset that deficit.
Yeah, now we have surplus.
Wow. Let's talk about let's finish and let's talk about that. How did you manage to get to offset a 400,000 shilling deficit and have surplus?
For us, it was a matter of cost cutting.
Okay.
Cost cutting and making sure that we use the resources that are available to maximize the resources that are available. I remember for the awards night.
Numbers Awards.
Yes. We were able to raise around 600, that's 60,000 Kenya shillings.
From tickets.
From ticket sales.
Impressive.
For the first time in the graduation dinner, the graduates met their costs. They are all their costs. So what we did is like we loaned the graduates. We loaned them 200,000, and they brought back the 200,000.
This is graduation dinner 2012.
Yes. So it's like we did spend a little graduation dinner. On Mr. and Miss USIU, I would love to say that during I was the vice secretary during the other term, and we didn't do any project.
So you were vice secretary during the other term?
Yes.
The 2011-2012?
Yes.
You were vice secretary?
Yes.
So you've been in leadership for about 2 years?
Yes.
Now, if I may ask now, 2 years in leadership, how did it affect your social life? Let's come out from SACT chairman, Joshua Ngigi on campus. You've been in leadership for 2 years, you've been in the limelight, you're always busy, up and about. Did it in any how affect your social life, your personal life, your health maybe? Maybe you're overworking yourself, you're what, 22 years old? Or
Even younger.
you're younger. let's leave it there. So you're talking about 2 years in just back-to-back leadership. And we're talking about a degree program of 3.5 years, in USIU. How did it affect your personal life in any way? Because I'm imagining 2 years in back-to-back leadership.
It affected my life, I would say. But maybe, the beginning was tough because to strike a balance between education, leadership, I have a family.
Wow, you have a family?
Yes. So it was hard. I remember even one time my fiancé saying, is it this such that you always give attention to?
Your fiancé is on campus too?
Yes.
She's a student here?
Yeah, she joined.
Oh, she joined.
Yeah, so
impressive.
that was my turning point when I said, I must strike a balance. I must serve the 5,000 students.
Wow.
I must serve my family.
Wow.
I must serve my God.
Okay.
I must strike that balance. Though it fluctuated, but I found myself at a point I asked God to help me, And let me say I lost friends. Not losing them in terms of we are not friends.
Yeah.
But the connection is not there.
You don't keep touch with them.
Yeah, and it was sad because I remember, we always say our politicians when they go there, that's how they make but it's not they forget. It's the amount of workload that is there. And now you're not a friend only to them, but to the whole campus. And I remember I told my mother. She told me, why are you coming so late? I told her, I'm representing 5,000 students. 5,000.
Yeah.
This is a whole county. Some places.
In Kenya, yeah, talking about that.
So I'm representing all of them.
Impressive.
They look up to me. So I can't let them down.
Oh.
If I have to sacrifice, please allow me and support me.
Now, another thing that students really liked about the student affairs being in the Senate is the meeting the who's and who's. I remember when His Excellency the President of Rwanda, President Paul Kagame, when he came to campus during the 40th anniversary for USIU, that was in 2010, I believe.
Yes.
You were among the students who were there. Is it 2010 or 2011?
It was 2010.
2010. I'm not too sure. You were among the students who were up there mingling with the who's and who's. President. That is. So how did you network with them? How was it for you? Maybe you talk about who are the prominent personalities you've ever been able to mingle with?
Let me say, at that time for Kagame, I wasn't really part of that. But during my tenure, I've really mingled with a lot of senior people.
Yes.
I remember I was invited by the VC to attend
USIU Vice Chancellor,
yes.
Professor Philona.
Yes. To open the official opening of the Thika Superhighway.
Wow, when President Kibaki was officially opening
Yes.
Yes, okay.
And that was a light moment for me because I I found myself in the midst of
The who's and who's.
yeah, you know.
East Africa, Kenya. So that was a big event, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to Safari Park. I mingled with the PS of roads, with personal contacts. I mingled with Francis Kimenia, Kabogo. I was just not lucky to say hi to our new president.
His Excellency.
Because he was seated at the high table, and I wanted to say hi, but there are people, they are normal people. That's what I've learned. It's not a matter of
They just have bigger responsibilities.
Just that.
And that they can't connect with everyone, but they do it for the people.
Yeah, negotiation is just simple. Look at that person as, how is your day?
Okay.
Just that. How is your day? How is it juggling between politics and family?
We're gonna go back to politics. Let's talk about your highest moment. Is one of the big. I think your highest moment is between the who's and who's. Talk about your lowest moment during your tenure as SAC chairman. What is one of the low moments that people don't know about? Personal, financial, academic. What's this low moment that you went and you say, this is, you hit rock bottom, so to say? When was this?
I think my lowest moments was when we were losing students. We lost around.
In terms of this demise of
demise of a lot of students. I came in May immediately.
May 22.
Yeah, I remember in June. We had the case of Sarah Arua. The lady was kidnapped and murdered by a USIU student. I remember I had to travel all the way to Siaya in Kisumu County, just to meet the family. I had to talk
on behalf
in the crowd, and that was the lowest moment because it was an inside job, security. And then a lot of students have passed away. And at that time is when we were working on a bereavement policy.
Yeah.
And it became hard even to have it accomplished because it was not sustainable. Our ideas were not sustainable to be supported by the policy. Therefore, we want to leave that to the incoming team. Probably they can work out on solutions on how to help people who are bereaved, so that we become more of a community.
Very true. I remember you did a campaign for one student who had passed away.
Yes.
A big campaign, I can't remember, but I read the story that you had led a campaign, a concert, or was it fundraising?
I think it was in conjunction with the counseling center.
Yes.
Just to remember the ones who left us.
Passed away.
And I think we will, if the new team agrees, they should take it up and do more of remembrance, solace, just to remember the USIU students who passed away.
I think there's an alumnus, Mr. Chris Anand, current managing director for Access Kenya. He talked about how USIU has very good leaders who go into the private sector and not the public sector. Although with the current election, we saw our alumnus like Martha Karua, the likes of Mr. Honorable Evans Kidero, the likes of the country rep Isaac Ngigi, who's now the country rep for Mwakio. Let's talk about Joshua Ngigi. What's the future? Because there's been a bit of so to say a hearsay that you're going to go into politics, and especially in Nairobi. Let's talk about what's your plan? Leadership-wise, are you planning to go into politics, or elective leadership in politics, or are you planning to go into the private sector?
I think my life is a little bit confused at this moment, not knowing where to go. But I have my options there. I think for me, my dream was to become the president of Kenya.
Wow.
But that comes step by step, and I really need to ask God which the path that He wants to take me. However, for now, I'm just looking for money,
finances to fund your campaign,
fund my family, first of all.
Okay, yeah, understood.
Have a decent house, a different roles. And then from there, they all work simultaneously. I think I would love to take up from Kidero.
Okay, Honorable Evans Kidero, the current Nairobi governor.
Yes. I would love to be governor because if I've been able to manage 5,000 students here.
From a multicultural
and it's,
background.
in statistics, what I've learned, it's about something. You don't take a whole, you don't say that because I manage 5,000, but Nairobi has 1.2 million people, you can't manage, It's about samples. It's a sample of 5,000 students, therefore I can manage Nairobi. I can manage, I know the issues facing Nairobi.
You're Nairobian,
I'm Nairobian, not from a very good neighborhood, so I know the issues from security, to the rich.
So are we looking at maybe 2017, 2018 county representative for Githurai? Are we looking at MP? Are we looking at senator? What are we looking at?
I think most likely MP.
MP, member of parliament.
Member of parliament, maybe 2022 or
2022.
But I would want first of all to set grounds and also to, as I said, to ask God. Is it that
you're a firm Christian?
It is good to follow what God has said because He knew you before put you in your mother's womb. So He knows where you should be going. So asking Him, is it the real path?
Okay.
If it's no, then I take up whatever, I become a CEO because in my CV I've said in 2-3 years time I would love to be a managing director of something, and I think we're also working on our own alumni cooperative circle, which maybe I will share with some of the alumni.
Okay.
So alumni
cooperative circle.
Yeah. So
the alumni who are listening to you should wait for something.
Yes.
Okay.
Because that is something. Maybe we'll do our own company. Who knows?
I think that the university has a great network of very positive, like-minded global citizens and spread it all over the world. And I think the idea is very good. Let's talk about, as a wrap-up, let's give us think about what you see for USIU as being a student chair, being a chairman of the Student Affairs Council. What's your future? What do you see in USIU? What did you hope to change? Being as you graduating this year.
The things that maybe that's why President ran for 5 terms, 4 years, 5 years.
Would you like a second term?
If I was getting, my family was getting something out of it, and we were able to live very well.
Yeah.
And this was a job, I would take it. That's why I want to be governor. However, I think the things that I have not done and the ideas that still come up.
Talk about these ideas. What is this?
I think SAC also should be a place where we generate money. Apart from the events, no, for the school.
For the institution. Okay.
We have a lot of loopholes that I think if SAC took them in, because let's avoid a lot of events.
True.
Let's come out to the real thing where a student wants to get employment, where a student wants the CV to be improved. How do we do that? Is it by talking to the school? We have a barber shop, salon, that is run by SAC, where our student can be doing something in that salon. Is it by SAC getting their own bus instead of bringing Zook? And SAC is the one generating this revenue.
I think the new SAC chair lady, since I had a chair lady, should be taking down notes of this.
I think
about
we should come out from the position of now. I think for the SAC chair, it needs to be the person who sees very far, has a vision.
Okay.
Instead of
he or
seeing,
she.
he or she.
Yeah.
And I respect her very much.
Yeah.
I believe she will lead the team.
Miss Martha
I would love for her to believe in God, always push for the right thing, see further than what has always been done.
Okay.
Don't do things because Joshua did well. He did them because he thought that was the best thing. And maybe there's a better thing. So, for me, the SAC, I think in very few years, if we keep up the pace, I think God has helped. Well, from what I hear people saying, we've kept the bar high. And my government has made sure that there is free interaction. That's why Jerry can take a video of us now.
Mr. Jerry Isaac, who's the current graduate representative.
I think having come from a position where we were running unopposed to a place where we have 25 candidates, 25, 19
You took part in that, the successization.
We were part of, and I always say to my team, we must be part of. If we must create controversies like having those teams. I remember I'm the one who crafted the issue of teams. I remember I told them we must make this thing.
You can't leave it out. The Kenyan political season, since the season, the politics actually affected a bit of USIU politics. Talking about alliances, because we could hear from social media, Team Alliance, Alliance this, Team United. And I think you brought a leaf from the Kenyan politics.
Yes, and we said I would take up Team. It's just a matter of trying to bring that vibrancy,
culture
in a positive way.
Okay, competitive politics and expressive.
It's good. I've loved my time. I think now it's up for the new team to take that and fill those shoes and make them bigger.
Okay.
Make them bigger and also again I would love to thank the team I worked with. It was made of competent, Kawira,
Kevin Doll, Raymond Nene.
Yeah. And maybe to highlight, Kawira was the focused one. The one who
the vice chair.
Yeah, okay. The one who would fight with the deans, the BBC.
Yeah.
Raymond, the humble one.
Okay.
Looks very big, but is very humble.
Okay.
Jackie, I think he was
Italian.
Yeah, he was very eloquent. Very, he's the guy who would write an email and all of us would be shocked by the English that has been used, by the terminologies
and the vocabulary.
Yeah, and very hardworking. Agnes karaoke, very commendable. Smiling, always there. Welcoming students. We had Andrew Boro. This is a guy. He's in charge of events, but you don't see him. You don't know who is in charge of the events.
But he's
but the events are there.
Yeah.
That is Kevin Don.
Yeah.
This is a guy who worked. We created the first ever social business competition, which we are going to have a presentation at the Norfolk Hotel this coming weekend. And Kevin Doll, we brought up the idea. He took it up. Then we did. This is a guy who has worked very hard. There's Mark Wangari. This was the guy who was always on the internet, always trying to research on the latest, what we bring for the students, who are the latest speakers. He has a lot of potential that maybe he did not exploit a lot, but he is a good guy. Very good. Humble beginnings, very good.
Okay.
I also, my team, I think my lowest point also was when we lost my treasurer. We went back to Tanzania. So we were operating as a 9 team.
Oh, okay. You graduate representative?
I would say she was there for the graduates, but a lot of potential wasted.
Okay.
I would term it as I don't want to.
As I say, I think the graduate representative role is very difficult if you're a part-time master's student, MBA, MA, and then you're also a leader, and you're also maybe working. So anyway, Joshua Ngigi, glad to have you on the show. We wish you all the best. And 2017, right?
2017, 2022.
Yeah.
I'll find my name in the bag.
Okay, sure thing.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. Glad to host you. This from the Student Affairs Council Chairman, the immediate chairman, Mr. Joshua Ngigi, talking about his life, and I think one of the best moments was talking about his family, how he managed to balance his family and his academics and his leadership tenure. Well, this is USIU TV. My name is Charles Mwakio, and we're glad you tuned in. Your life, your campus, your TV.